Local high school in Laguna Beach just to see my daughter dance, and I saw Maria win homecoming queen, and I started crying. I turned around in the crowd where they were all on their feet crying, and I thought, this is an incredible woman that I need to know her story.
Where did the inspiration for this film come from?
I think that youth with disabilities are, they have very few opportunities when they graduate from high school, and I really wanted to follow her on that journey and see where it went.
What are some of the messages that you're trying to convey throughout this film?
One of the most important messages is when Maria says in the film, she says, "I'm not disabled, I am abled." And I think that it's really important that we not make somebody's disability their identity. And that was one of my main goals. The other thing is theme, which I teach a lot in my classes, and that is that the love of family and friends is what sustains us.
And also, what do you think we as a society can do to become more aware, more helpful to those with disabilities?
I think that just not making it their identity. I've seen a lot of people, when they speak to people with the disabilities, they talk down, patronize. Even though the eye contact may not be there, they are communicating. And many steps to be taken in our society.
Amazing. Thank you, Dodge College documentary professor Christine Fugate, for joining us today, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
It's that time of the year. The 2022 Thanksgiving Turkey Trot races are underway. Many people sign up to participate in these races in support of local charities and causes. Here in Orange County, you can register for races scheduled throughout the month. Some of the cities where races will take place include Anaheim, Irvine, Seal Beach, and Long Beach. Registration for a specific race can be found by searching online for turkey trots in your nearby city. The annual tradition is a great way to run up an appetite and gather local communities together. Hurricane Nicole made landfall in Florida last Thursday.
Caroline Applegate is here to share more about the hurricane's aftermath and to provide us with a weekly weather forecast.
Thank you, Josh and Isabella. Authorities in Florida are still assessing the damage caused by subtropical storm Nicole that swept through parts of the state last week. The storm killed at least 5 people and left extreme damage along the eastern coast, only 6 weeks after the devastation of Hurricane Ian. During hurricane season, the damage is unpredictable, and local residents worry about the state of their homes and surrounding land.
100% gone. Yeah, the new dune that we waited 5 years for, that was put up probably 4 weeks before Ian. It was probably halfway wiped out in Ian, and now it's completely gone.
These dunes are vital in helping diminish shoreline erosion and are essential to marine life. And now onto our weekly weather forecast. Today in Orange, it's going to be sunny at 74 degrees. And for our national forecast as well, over in Seattle, we're looking at it being around 51 degrees, and down in San Francisco, around 64. In Las Vegas, cooling down a little bit at 32 degrees, and in my hometown, Park City, it's going to be a chilly 26, so I'm definitely going to bring some extra jackets home for Thanksgiving. In Denver, it's going to be around 36 degrees, and down in Austin, cooling down at 52 degrees. Over in Minneapolis, it'll be snowing at 34 degrees, and in Chicago, around 40 degrees as well, with some rainfall. Over in Atlanta, it's going to be around 49 degrees, and in Miami, feeling like summer at 84 degrees. In DC, it'll be around 48 degrees, and in the Big Apple, 46. And now on to our Orange County forecast. Over in Westminster, it's going to be around 72 degrees, and on the coastline in Newport Beach, 67, and Laguna Beach, 64. Here in Orange, 74 degrees, and similarly in Irvine, around 73. In Mission Viejo, it'll be around 72 degrees, and over in San Clemente, around 65. And now on to our Orange 5-day forecast. It'll be sunny throughout the week, with it going up to 77 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday, and then going back to 72 degrees on Friday. It'll be a low of mid to high 40s to low 50s throughout the week. And that's all I have today for our weather forecast. I'm Caroline Applegate. Back to you at the desk.
With Veterans Day happening this past weekend, OC Ramps hosted the 4th official Veterans Day skate event. honoring both past and present members of armed forces. Alexandra Konyarts has the story.
Skaters from all over the country came together in Santa Ana to celebrate Veterans Day. The event took place at OC Ramps, a skateboard manufacturing company. Tyler Large, CEO and owner of OC Ramps, says it is a way of showing appreciation.
I have a lot of respect for these guys and girls. I think it's important to give back where we can. They're the salt of the earth. We're all here to celebrate skateboarding together.
The event was organized by Official Military Skate, a company owned by Marine Corps veteran Zachary Sales. His brand works to give veterans a place and home in skateboarding. Sales says skateboarding has been one of his greatest passions.
At first, it's kind of chaotic, and skateboarding is one of the things that kind of gives you a way to focus your mind so you're not distracted by everything else. It's also a great physical exercise.
Angel Cortez, a former Army Ranger, was one of the veterans attending the event. He says skating is a way to find camaraderie.
So exiting out of the military, you kind of, don't have your platoon, your company, or your squad to be around with you, so you kind of lose your friends. So skateboarding is something I'm passionate about, and it turns out other veterans as well, and that's an easy way to make new friends.
Logan Joyce is an Army veteran and Chief of Operations for 6 Feet Above, another nonprofit organization that was at the event. He says skateboarding helped with his mental health.
Skateboarding has been like my lifesaver, It's what got me through a lot of depression and just bad times, It's just good relief. Like, you share that joy with other people, and there's something in skateboarding that you can't really find a whole lot of places. And in the military too, there's like that camaraderie between just going through stuff together, so it becomes really, really enjoyable to share it together. And so skateboarding is very similar.
Skating is a way for veterans to find a sense of community. Tonight was filled with smiles and, of course, some friendly competition. I'm Alexandra Konyarts reporting for Chapman News.
This year, it's costing more to put the traditional holiday dinner on the table. According to CNN Business, turkeys, for example, cost 17% more than they did last year. Officials say there's a shortage of turkeys this fall because the avian flu has infected lots of the birds that would normally be served at Thanksgiving. Turkeys on average will be sold for $1.80 per pound this year. Some families or even students are changing their Thanksgiving traditions as a result, trying out a potluck-style meal this year or substituting something less expensive for the classic side dishes.
Since turkey's a little bit more expensive now, and I'm a college student, it wasn't as accessible to someone like me, so I got chicken instead.
But there are other ways to save money on your holiday dinner. Aldi's will be selling all of its Thanksgiving dinner ingredients and elements for the same price they were sold for in 2019. Members of BJ's Wholesale are eligible for a free turkey. Want to give back this Thanksgiving? There are several local organizations looking for volunteers over the Thanksgiving season. In Orange, the Friendly Center and Illumination Foundation is accepting food donations for Thanksgiving meal care packages. If you want to volunteer before Thanksgiving, the We Give Thanks Foundation is looking for volunteers the day before Thanksgiving at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Operation Warm Wishes in Tustin will host an event on Thanksgiving and is looking for volunteers to help with game booths, clothing giveaways, a petting zoo, and more. At Chapman News, we hope you have a happy and healthy Thanksgiving.
I'm Gavin Nguyen. Coming up on the Best Campus Sports Show, school records smashed by Chapman football. Stay tuned.
I'll be seeing you in all of our favorite places with laughter and warm embraces all day through.
Elmo loves you.
I love you too.
With free COVID-19 vaccines, sunnier days are ahead. Visit getvaccineanswers.org.
I'll be seeing you.
Josh, did you see my 49ers' amazing win this past weekend?
I did, of course. Sunday Night Football on NBC. I saw that. Also, this past weekend, Chapman football broke some records. Let's see what Gavin has to say for us with sports. Gavin.
Hello and welcome to the Best Campus Sports Show. I'm Gavin Nguyen. Even with the season wrapped up, I've still got to talk some baseball. Rookie of the Year awards were announced yesterday. The Mariners' Julio Rodriguez took the honor in the AL, and the Braves' Michael Harris II took it in the NL. Gold Glove and Silver Slugger awards were also given to the best defensive and offensive players at each position, respectively. Some greats won both, like Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals and my guy Mookie Betts of the Dodgers. Expect more awards this week. We'll know the Cy Young winners and MVPs in the coming days. And for Chapman sports, 3 school records were broken when Chapman football won its last game of the season, 42-14 against Laverne. QB Nathaniel Espinoza broke 2 records, the single-season records for passing yards and touchdowns, beating out the previous record with almost 2,700 passing yards and 30 TDs on the season. Spencer Crona broke the career record for total receiving touchdowns with 20 over his 3 seasons at Chapman, beating the previous record of 19. The Panthers finished the season 7-3, and the school records were the cherry on top. When one season ends, another begins, and Chapman basketball is now in full swing. Both the men's and women's teams played home games over the weekend. The Panthers crushed McAllister 78-45 in the women's game. The Panthers got off to a slow start in the first quarter, but never looked back after taking a double-digit lead. But the men's team lost a close one to UC Santa Cruz on Saturday. The Panthers had a comeback brewing as the seconds counted down.
That's stolen in the corner. Rims. It's good. Good rim right there from the Panthers. 1-point game timeout.
But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to win it. The final score was 85-81 Santa Cruz. And with that, that's all I have for this edition of the Best Campus Sports Show. Josh and Isabella, back to you.
The University of California, Irvine will use an $8 million grant to expand patient access to stem cell clinical trials. The university will join a statewide network of clinics to conduct federally approved trials of promising therapies. The trials involve patients who may not have had access to treatments before. Strokes, severe burns, and cancer are examples of conditions that will be explored in the experimental trials. According to university officials, UCI's new clinic will also partner with local hospitals such as CHOC, the Children's Hospital of Orange County, to extend its reach.
Just like what is being seen in other parts of the country, CHOC Children's Hospital is experiencing a big increase in the number of children with RSV. The California Department of Public Health yesterday reported the death of a young child who had both the flu and RSV virus. CHOC Hospital offers the only specialized RSV prevention program in Southern California. Doctors say the best way to prevent the spread of RSV is to cover coughs, keep children home if they have symptoms, and encourage them to wash hands frequently.
I'm Calista Kirk, and I'll be taking you backstage with all things theater from the East Coast to the West Coast after the break.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Isabella, have you ever been to a Broadway show?
I have not, Josh, but it is surely high up on my bucket list, and maybe I'll cross it off this Thanksgiving break. Calista Kirk, Chapman News executive producer and theater expert, is here to share more about the latest news in the theater world.
Thanks, Josh and Isabella. I'm typically behind the scenes here on Chapman News, but I had to step into the spotlight to talk theater news for just a bit. Let's jump right in. The 96th annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade takes the streets of New York City next week, and as always, we've got some Broadway performances lined up. 4 musicals are being showcased on the NBC Live broadcast of the parade. Funny Girl, the 2022 revival currently starring Leah Michele and Ramin Karimloo, Some Like It Hot, and the new musical based on the 1954 film of the same name, A Beautiful Noise, the new Neil Diamond musical, and a classic, The Lion King, which just celebrated 25 years on Broadway. The parade provides major publicity for those shows, and with Some Like It Hot and A Beautiful Noise eligible for the upcoming Tony Awards, it's never too early to start campaigning, even if that means waking up at 5 a.m. to breathe the 40-degree weather Caroline was telling us about earlier. Until the Macy's parade takes the streets of Manhattan next week, playwright Jack O'Brien is making the most of that free real estate. O'Brien dressed up as a head of corn to announce his new musical comedy, Shooked, which will be taking over the Nederlander Theater next April. And that wasn't even the extent of the craziness.
Shocked is coming to New York. Shocked is coming to Broadway. You don't get laughs as corn every day.
O'Brien is a 3-time Tony winner and has assembled a creative team including Grammy-winning songwriters Brandy Clark and Shane McAnally. Now, Broadway may be the heart of the theater industry in the U.S., but some of us across the country can't afford trips to New York every weekend. Luckily for us, Southern California has a lot to offer theater lovers this season. I got the chance to see 222: A Ghost Story at the Amundsen last week, starring Constance Wu and Anna Camp, and really enjoyed the supernatural thriller genre on display. They really emphasize not spoiling the plot to future audiences, so I'll just say if you're at all doubting if a play can scare you as bad as your favorite horror movie can, stop by the Amundsen at some point between now and December 4th. Clyde's also opens up at the Mark Taper Forum tomorrow. It's a Tony-nominated comedy from Pulitzer Prize winner Lynn Nottage, centering around a sandwich truck staffed by formerly incarcerated cooks. Now, parent company to both the Mark Taper Forum and the Amundsen Center Theater Group offers up free tickets to the opening week of their new productions if you're 25 years or under, hoping to increase the patronage with their younger generations. It's all part of their free play program. And if there's one thing I love more than theater, it's free theater. So let's get on that mailing list, youngins, to see shows like Clyde's and Ghost Story at the Center Theater Group. Another Tony-nominated play in Los Angeles is To Kill a Mockingbird at the Pantages Theater. It stars Richard Thomas as Atticus Finch and Melanie Moore as Scout. Now, I'm a big Melanie Moore fan, so I'm sure that she and the rest of this touring cast are putting on quite a show out in Hollywood. Leaving LA for Orange County, Moulin Rouge recently opened up at the Segerson Center. Let's take a look at what the 10-time Tony-winning show has to offer.
You are the Moulin Rouge. Because you can!
Critically acclaimed for its elaborate set and dancing, the production will be in Costa Mesa until November 27th. This adaptation takes the extravagant premise of the Baz Luhrmann film and reinvents the jukebox score. Not without Elton John's classic Your Song, though. And that's all the major works on stage in SoCal that I can report for you. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones. Theater isn't just for East Coasters anymore. Moving from musicals to just music, Grammy nominations were announced this morning. Beyoncé received the most nods for her album Renaissance, which includes her nominated single Break My Soul. Quick shout out as well to the 6 Best Musical Theater Album nominees, including this year's Best Musical winner, A Strange Loop. The awards will be held at the Crypto.com Arena on February 5th and broadcasted on CBS. And that's it for me this week. Until next time, this has been Callista Kirk talking about her favorite thing for 3 minutes straight on Carrying the Banner. Back to you at the desk.
I can definitely feel the excitement from our newsroom reporters as our executive producer, Callista Kirk, just crushed it on camera. First time, best time, last time. Be sure to check us out on our YouTube page at chapmannews.tv and make sure to follow us at Chapman News. I'm Isabella Capri.
Great job by Captain Kirk. I'm Josh Blinder. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in 3 weeks for the final newscast of the semester.